Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We are going to take a few moments to share our screen, to share this page. If you've joined us this evening, please share on your page, share on your timeline. And ladies, you'll let me know once you've shared.
Okay, I'm looking for us right now. I don't see us yet.
No?
No, let me refresh again. I just refreshed. Let me try it again. Hi, everybody.
Page to share on your timeline. And ladies, you'll let me know once you've shared.
I'm looking for us right now. I don't see us yet.
No?
No, let me refresh again. I just refreshed. Let me try it again. Hi, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Okay, come on, come on.
Okay.
And see, Dravon, you shared.
Hi, guys.
Okay, come on, come on.
Lynnis, were you able to share?
I did. So I'm wondering, do you close your page down afterwards?
Yes, that way we won't hear an echo.
We don't get the feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. You're good, Lynnis?
I'm good. This is Living Well Women, holistic living for sisters over 40. Happiness is holistic. It's multifaceted. It's physical. It's internal. It's my diet and my emotional state. It's all tied in together. Michelle Obama. This is a show for sisters, about sisters, by me and my sisters, Dr. Dravon James and Keisha Dixon. I am Lynnis Woods Mullins, and we are Women Living Well.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Sheldon. Hi, Sayer. How is everyone? Welcome to Living Well Women, holistic living for sisters. I am joined by my sister girlfriend collaborators, Lynnis Woods Mullins. Lynnis is a holistic expert for women over 40, executive producer of this show, plus two others, publisher of an e-magazine, and Dr. Dravon James of Everyday Peace. And I am Keisha Dixon, creator of the Monetize Your Mind system. And we're so excited to be with you here today because we are covering a topic that was introduced by one of our viewers, and we love the topic. Last week, we spoke about finding your purpose and getting clarity on your purpose and walking in your purpose. And one of the viewers asked the question, okay, once I found my purpose, how do I get my husband or my partner, significant other, to buy in? So let's talk about it, ladies. So who would like to start?
Well, I wanted to say that, first of all, we were talking offline, and I'm paraphrasing a phrase that you said because I think it is so important to hear this as we talk about getting people to buy into our purpose, that living your purpose is your highest form of worship.
Yes.
That purpose from within, you didn't put that there. The same thing that ignites me and sets me on fire for the world is maybe not the same thing that ignites somebody else. That purpose comes from a higher being. And so we are meant to do that purpose, right? And so part of that journey in the growth and development will be getting other people to buy into your dream, not give you permission. Nope, not give you permission. You have to give yourself permission. But those that you love and you share space with, you want them to at least support you. If in nothing else but spirit, at least support you. And I gotta say, for me, setting boundaries has been something that I learned to do late in life, but I'm so glad that I did, because you have to make not supporting you not an option if you really care about my happiness. And we can talk about how to keep the home life a priority, because it should be a priority, right? But it should never be an either this or that. This is my passion, my maybe the reason that I was sent to Earth, if you will, right? Be real sci-fi about it, right? This could be the reason that I was sent to Earth. My mission is.
Most definitely. You know, and I didn't mention, Dr. Dravon, that you are also a radio host and a keynote speaker. So when you went home to your family and and announce that this is what I'm doing. I'm hosting a radio show live every Monday. I'm keynote speaking across the world. How did they react to that?
I think they were sort of prepared for it only because I've always been very, very busy. I'm an actress, so I traveled, to do that. And, as long as I think the whole thing was, were you going to still be able to keep your job? As long as I was still able to do that. But yeah, they weren't that difficult to convince. And maybe because I didn't make it difficult for them. I still cooked all the meals. I meal plan and have things cooked for 7 days in advance and frozen and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of wear myself ragged trying to make sure that nobody else is inconvenienced while I follow my dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe why.
Yeah. What about you, Lynnis? What's your experience in walking out your purpose? You're a married woman.
Yes. Well, I decided early on, after my first year of leaving corporate America and starting my own business, that this was not going to be something that I was going to count on the kind of support I might normally count on from a spouse, because he just didn't get it. I mean, he got it to a certain extent in terms of, from a purely intellectual nuts and bolts kind of a thing. But anything that had to deal with the esoteric part of going into the kind of business that I'm in, with helping women and the whole virtual piece and when does the money come in and all that stuff, I decided that I had to basically build a Chinese wall on that, because I wasn't getting the support or the feedback, the positive feedback that I would like to get. And so I've learned to develop my own system of positive feedback, and not to count on that. Not to say that it's not there, but if it's not there, then I'm not destroyed by that. I think that when you're walking in your purpose, you also have to walk in the idea of gathering those people who you know are going to support you. And if your significant other can't do it, or the way they're doing it is a trigger for you in terms of how you're feeling about doing it, then you really do need to find another way to keep that kind of positive feedback and that constant support going. And it's not to say you don't love the person, that they don't love you, but sometimes you just don't get it because it doesn't resonate with them. And some people are very literal, and they only want to know what's going on when they see the money, in this case, okay? Or when they see some tangible results that they can point to. And many times walking your purpose involves it doesn't necessarily involve tangible results right away, because you're building to that. You're building to that. So if you want to be able to persevere, I think pretty early on, you have to identify who your basis of support is going to be, where it's going to be, and don't try to change anyone. Try to get them to support you. Try to get them to understand you. Try to get them to get where you're at. Don't waste your time doing it. It's very frustrating. Remember what your mama told you about changing any man. That's not going to happen, okay? But you can change yourself and how you react to that trigger. And one way to react to that trigger, ladies, is to find another pistol, another form of support that gives you positive triggers, positive reinforcement. And it's not so much about going outside the relationship. It's just about building, as Dr. Dravon would say, building your tribe. Building the tribe that's going to support you on your journey, that's going to be there when you succeed, and is going to be there when you fail. And definitely not someone that's going to say, well, I knew that wasn't going to work. I've been there, okay?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I am not currently married, but I have children, so I'll use them as an example for my partnership. And when I decided that I was exiting corporate in April this year, one of my daughters, all of them said, oh, this is wonderful, yay. But one of my daughters was like, are our needs going to be met? Will the cell phone stay on? Are we going to have Christmas? And she wasn't 100% on board, and would kind of push those boundaries every chance she got. And I see that a lot with my clients. They want to start living the life of their dreams. They want to double their income, and it may not look like working in that corporate 9-to-5 job that they're currently in. One of the biggest concerns they have is, will my husband support this? Or will my partner support this? Will they think I'm crazy? What's going to happen? I've had goals before and I haven't made those goals before. How can I get the support that I need? Because I'm already feeling a little self-doubt, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I find that they fall in one or two groups. one group would be, I don't want the confrontation, so I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to live my dreams. And the other group is, yeah, bring it, and I'll fight you back, and I'm going to push through, and I'm going to show you. And neither of those two energies is the energy that you need to really live the life of your dream joyously and full of peace, as Dr. Dravon would say, right?
Yeah.
So one of the exercises that I did when my daughter was pushing back a little bit this summer, and that I asked my clients to do when they're concerned about potential conflict that their spouse, their partner is not buying in, is just to go into the bathroom and just, you guys can try it too right now, and just in the mirror by themselves, just imagine that that person is standing there in front of them and put up their hands and say, stop.
Oh,
stop. Come on, do it.
right.
Just stop. And you can feel like the power that's coming out of your hands, right? Just stop.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I used to do too is that I would just, say out loud, what, I'm not receiving that. Yeah. I'm not receiving that. And it wouldn't just be my significant other. It would also be my friends. Sometimes they'll say things unwittingly, not even realizing that what they're saying could be putting you in another vein. And I just, just say, I'm not receiving that.
Right. Yeah. Or that.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Dr. Drew.
When they minimize your dream, that little dream of yours, or that hobby, which you feel is like, oh my gosh, this is my greatest work. And it's not supported as being who you are, is being supported as being this side thing. It's like, no, this is the real thing. Everything else is a side thing. And I think you're right. You have to build a tribe. You have to be very comfortable with the word no becoming a superpower for you, right? Because I was very uncomfortable with saying no to the people who I thought were, my essential, my home-based tribe. Mm-hmm. And I was very uncomfortable with saying, no, I can't do that right now, or no, your opinion doesn't mean more than mine, or no, I don't welcome your opinion at this point in time, because you need to stay in a certain headspace to do the things that you're doing, right? And so I think that's important. It's really, when people see that you value yourself and your gifts and your mission, and that you're not using them as a weapon, as Keisha said, you're not using it to fight them. You're using it because you have to. It's like breathing for you.
And remember, your validation should not lie outside yourself. That's between you and God. Your validation is not in your children. It's not in your husband. It's not in your friends. It's not even necessarily in your purpose necessarily. Your validation is something apart and separate. And you want to make sure that you are not carrying over the thing you just got through leaving, corporate America, your job, or whatever it was you're doing that wasn't in your purpose, and you carry over some of those bad habits into your new purpose in terms of walking in your purpose. There's still some boundaries that you need to set for yourself. For instance, if whatever it is that is your passion, you're pursuing it, and you experience some failure along the way, don't let that be your validation in terms of who you are as a person. And one more thing that I think is really important when pursuing your purpose is start setting those intents. The other day, I think I don't know if it was on this show or on one of my other shows, I was recording somewhere else. And I said, oh, I can't show you my room, but I'll show you. Right? This is my office, my prayer room. And right behind me here are all of my intents, goals, and objectives, affirmations, scriptures, all the things that I need to remind myself in terms of who I am, okay, and who I aspire to be. And I don't have anything that says, my husband says, my girls say, my mom, and none of those people up there. It's all about what I want to put in my spirit and what God or the Holy Spirit has led me to write. And that's what you want to surround yourself with. I'm a visual person, so I've got my walls full of all kinds of things to keep myself going, because I realized early on that even though I know my husband loves me, my children love me, my family loves me, sometimes they just don't get it. Or they'll say the wrong thing, and then you're like, that's what I need to hear. So when I need to hear that kind of stuff and I'm not getting it, I just go to my wall. And start reading what it is that I feel God has placed within me and what it is that God says about me. And many times that gives you the fuel to keep going on that journey and pursuing your passion.
I love that you said what it is that God said about me, because so often we get it a little backwards, right? We look at our purpose, our passion, and feel like once we've arrived there, then we will finally be something, finally be happy, finally be peaceful, finally be successful or full of joy, when actually we're already all of those things, walking purpose or not. We're already all of those things. So they don't have to be the hidden agendas that we attach to our goals.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I do want to say this because the show really is dealing with how do you, what do you do when your significant other doesn't support you? And I really want to go back to Keisha's point about not using your purpose as a weapon. I think it is really a good idea to have that outside tribe. You know, we are women 40 and beyond. So I think we are beyond thinking that a significant other completes us. I think we can leave that to a generation.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because I know a lot of women who are our age who don't have a significant other right now, and they're thinking when they get that significant other, they'll be completed. And I agree with you, though. We shouldn't be thinking that, but I still think we struggle with that because of societal teachings, family teachings, you know, culturally speaking, you know, as an African-American woman, there's that whole thing about having that mate, you know, you're supposed to have that mate. And in particular, lately, we've been really criticized because we can't seem to keep the mate, to find the mate, or when we do find it, it's a mate that's not the same color as us. So we get all this stuff all the time. But the bottom line is, though, I do agree with you, that's where we should aspire to be, is that we can still have a sense of purpose and joy and peace and fulfillment if we don't have that significant other. But if you do have that significant other, the healthy thing I think for us to do is still be vested in the idea that if they don't get it, that's okay.
Right.
Because
it makes you more sexy and alluring too, to have some passions and some things. I mean, because don't we want that from our significant other? Nobody really is, you know, checking for the guy who just can go to work and sit on the couch all day, right? You're very passionate about the guy who has a lot of patience, you know, and he's involved in his community or his church or his own other entrepreneurial ventures. That's passion. You're excited about that person. I think the same thing makes us attractive too, is that knowing that we have an outside goal, something that excites us, something that we're willing to put our extra time into. And then when you come together with your significant other, you have something so exciting to talk about, maybe, or to share a few glimpses into your world, and it makes some exciting conversation. So I think it's, you know, I do think we got to get beyond that. The mate completes me. It's lovely to have a mate. It's wonderful. Right. It's wonderful. But you are a whole person, and one other person can't complete you. They can add to your life, but they can't complete you.
I think when you are starting out on that idea, pursuing your passion, whatever that is, that you set an intent to assemble a joy team.
Oh, and I love it.
You know, that joy team may have your husband on it or your significant other, or it may not. But that joy team is all about you and your success. And I was very blessed. My first 7 years in business, I had that. A lovely person who basically started watching me and following me on social media, who became probably my strongest advocate. And that was such a shot in the arm for 7 years. I mean, right there all the time when I failed and when I was successful. And that is so helpful. But even with that, you know, just like I was saying with one of my friends the other day, things always change. Nothing stays the same. And so that person was there for a reason, for a season. And then when that season passed, you know, then it was time for something else. But I think that as long as we are open to whatever it is the universe is sending us, whatever it is that God is sending us, because just remember, we don't want to be like the man in the boat, and I'll tell that story later. But basically, sometimes we look for things to come in a certain way, okay? And if they don't come to us that way, then, oh, that must not be it. But remember, when we're doing that, we're thinking about our human minds, and our human minds are limited. They're not godlike, you know. So many times God will send us stuff that really isn't how, it doesn't come in the form that we expect. So I would say to assemble your joy team with an idea of being open to receive whatever it is that God has for you.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the three of us even being on this show is a testament to that. None of us knew each other 6 months ago.
Right.
And we are absolutely part of each other's joy team. I know my clients are a huge part of my joy team, and they're people that just kind of picked up along the way because I've been doing the inner work and removing those self-doubts and doubling my confidence and showing up, and you two have been doing the same as well. And what happens is when you start shifting internally and how you feel about yourself, everything around you starts shifting to match how you're feeling about yourself. Every interaction that we have is really just a mirror reflection of what's going on.
Oh my goodness, Keisha, you couldn't have said that better, because that is really the whole point of this. When you make a commitment to switching, organically, everything around you has to change and either come on board. This may be scary, but it's so true. It organically comes on board, or it organically moves away. Yeah. And what should be in that space arrives there, right? And that's the flow of life. That really is the flow of life.
Yes, it so truly is.
Yeah, it really is. I was amazing.
You know, if anybody wants to know, I have some tea in my cup. I have a cold, so that's why I'm sipping on my.
And you still look fabulous. Look at you.
Fabulous.
on my teacup here. So it's nothing. Maybe there should be a little something hot toddy stuff in here, but I'll do that afterwards. But as I was taking a sip of my teacup here, I was thinking about something. Sometimes your significant others show their support in ways that may not be what really gives you the oomph, but it gives them the oomph because they think they're doing the right thing. When that happens, you really want to validate that, because this is an example of an oomph. My husband went and got my special, hot drink that he knows I like to have. He ran out to the Starbucks and got it, and it got here just in time. Now, I didn't ask him to do that, and I could have gone to the kitchen and done it, but that was his way of supporting me. And, and I appreciate that. So when you do get that, leverage that and build on that. There's this wonderful book that someone gave me many years before I was ready for it. And it was called How to Develop a Mentor, or How to Develop Your Own Coach. And I would say that there's some principles in that book that you can apply to your significant other in terms of developing him and mentoring him to be part of your joy team, mentoring him to be your mentor. There is a way to do it. And it's not really manipulation. It's just kind of subtly educating them on what your needs are. And when they've done a really good job supporting you, and when, not necessarily giving them feedback when they haven't, but sometimes no feedback is powerful feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, and to that, there's a quiz you can take online and a book that you can read also called The 5 Love Languages. It could be that they're showing support and you're just speaking a different love language. Like it sounds like, Lynnis, your husband's love language is gifts of appreciation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's really, when you were talking, I thought about this interview I saw years and years ago. I know it was over 15 years ago with Maya Angelou, and she talked about just what you just said, teaching people how to love you, how to love you, because no one really knows. And she talked about it specifically from a mom to a child, and when you're talking, Keisha, about how one of your daughters had a little resistance, right? Yeah. But this is how you show mom support. And realize that everything that you are expressing, you are my child and I love you. Don't you think I've thought about that? I've thought about it because I loved you, because I love you, right? Same thing with our significant others. I've thought about the impact on this family if I pursue this. Of course I have. I love you. Now you think about the impact on me if I am denied this passion. Can we come together with this? Can we partner together so that we can make this passion a reality for me? What do I need to do? What do I need to sacrifice? What do you need to do? What do you need to sacrifice? We're, my favorite word is, we're building a tribe here. We're building something here. And there's going to be this need. We're developing. We can't stay in the same place forever. Neither one of us can. And I think that's a great way to approach a conversation with maybe a resistant significant other, is that, what can we give? How can we come together so this can be a passion, so this can be a reality for me?
Just the way you said that, Dr. Dravon, it's no question in my mind why you're the queen of your movement, Everyday Peace. Because that was just so eloquent and so peaceful. Yeah, we're going to argue with that.
Right, well, you hope, right?
That's very true. I really do admire that idea of everyday peace. And I was thinking about that today when I was trying to get some rest and heal myself so that I could, show up tonight. And one of the things I was talking about was thinking about was going to my happy place that gives me a sense of peace. And when you're pursuing your passion, when you're in the process of going after a really lofty goal, you have to at least once a day set aside some time to yourself where you can just be, where you're not getting feedback from the significant other, from your friends, family, or no one else, just you and God, just being quiet. And many times that kind of taking that kind of time and taking that everyday peace, as you would say, Dr. Dravon, really does help to re-solidify your purpose and to validate who you are in your purpose. Because I'm guaranteed you're going to get some positive messaging when you're doing that. I've been doing it for years. I don't do it every single day like I should, but I know whenever I do just stop and be quiet and just listen, I always get something that gives me fuel to keep going for the rest of the day. I really need to put it on my radar to do it like in the middle of the day every day. I do it at the beginning of the day, but I need to do it in the middle of the day too.
Yeah, I call that my non-negotiables. And for me, my non-negotiable is to walk on the beach 2 to 3 times a week. I have that. If I don't do that, I'm not nearly as creative. I'm not nearly as inspired. It's a good thing that I moved from Pennsylvania to Florida so that I can do that. But it is an absolute non-negotiable.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just being in that nature.
Yes.
In the flow of the body of water. It's something about that space.
It's so healing. It is so healing.
Yeah. Yeah,
and from a wellness perspective, people think, well, this is supposed to be about, holistic living for sisters. What does this have to do with holistic living? Pursuing your passion is a key component of holistic living, because if you're really pursuing your passion, it's going to take a connection between your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul to get you through that journey. It's a combination. It's a continuity of that. And there will be all kinds of things that will detract you from that. So the more you keep tuning into taking care of your mind, taking care of your body, taking care of your spirit, regardless of where your support comes from or what the detractors might be, you'll overcome that because you're grounded.
Absolutely.
Yes, talking about sacred space, it sounds like to me. That's the word that drops in my spirit. We're really talking about sacred space. And I want to take just a quick moment to plug us for a second, because this is kind of exactly a sacred space for us and all of the viewers who are joining us now. This is our tribe where we're coming together to do just that, to have a space of wellness for women of color, 40 and beyond. So ask yourself, wouldn't you like to bring somebody into this circle with you? That's a great place to spend half an hour on Thursday to carve out that time and say, you know what, I'm going to spend some time with like-minded women. Yeah, we're all different, right? But we're all like-minded in the sense that we're at a point in our life where we really value that holisticness about life, that wellness, that balance. We were at a different season before, right? When it was all about the babies and the career and, getting booed up and all that kind of stuff. And those things are still fine. They're still lovely, right? But we're in this season where we really can appreciate walks on the beach, afternoon meditation, yoga, whatever it takes to create a whole well woman.
Absolutely. And I think that as sisters, as women of color, it's even more important for us to stay grounded, because there's so much out there that's negative about being a person of color right now going on in our country. Right now, we're dealing with that very issue. But let us say, and I think my sisters here will agree, that it is one of the greatest honors in life to be a person of color, and to add being a woman of color, and to add to that being a seasoned woman of color, someone over 40 who has some life experience. We need to feel good about that. I never could understand why women didn't want to tell their age. I don't get it. I mean, that's fine if you don't. I know that's your own personal data that you want to hold on to, but I hope it's not because you think it's something to be ashamed of, or even care if you're being judged because you happen to be older. Because guess what? You can overcome
any of those stereotypes they might have. I think I have. I'm 61, and I'm not anything like the 61-year-olds I used to think of when I was growing up in terms of what that, what that signified to me. I'm not like that. So, be your own 45, 56, or whatever it is, and be proud of that. I think the first step of wellness is being proud of who you are, the way you are, as you are right now, this moment in time. And if there's some improvement you want to do, then that's great. Fantastic. We applaud you. But loving yourself the way you are right now is the first step to getting to that other place you want to be.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly. And ladies, I'm going to be 51 in exactly 10 days. What are we doing?
Your birthday party. So many friends that have had birthday parties over the last couple of weeks. In fact, I see one of my dearest friends. She just turned 60, and she's a client of ours, Karen Travis. Happy birthday. Yeah, I told your age. She's going to kill me. Everybody knows.
Proud.
That's right. Oh, that's that old song. You know what it is, right?
What?
It's loud. Come on, guys. You guys, I must be dating myself. James Brown.
I didn't hear what you said. What was the song?
James Brown, say it loud.
Oh, say it loud. Yes, say it loud.
That's great.
I am older than you guys.
I hope that our viewers are attached, like as we are to them, because this is really, I was telling Keisha that I watched our show from last week, which I rarely have a time to do, but I was happened to be on Facebook and it was popped on my page, and I just fell in love with the three of us and the fact that we were no, listen, it was amazing to me because I have teenagers and they're so savvy and fast on the computer and everything is second nature to them, and I watched myself on there fumbling around trying to share the page, and Lynnis saying it's circling and Keisha and I said that I felt so much warmth from that little exchange, being in a place where women of our age, women could connect to other women and we could share, and it's authentic. There is no, it's lovely to be 20 if you're 20. It's lovely. Oh my gosh, right? And it's lovely to be 30 if you're 30. It's lovely. But it is awesome to be on the other side of 50.
Yes.
And still love life and believe and know that you have something to give and something to receive. Right. So, I mean, just being in this space and having the women come on and being able to share topics, like we had a viewer who gave us this topic. So I'm encouraging you all, send in your topics. We're on YouTube. Yay. For us.
Yes, let me give us a shameless plug for YouTube. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Come on, you guys. You see that link right there? Go ahead and copy and paste it or write it down and put it in your browser and just subscribe right away. So whenever our wonderful editor Joy uploads a new show, you'll get notified of it. That's way you'll never miss a show. And ladies, we talked about this before, but I'm going to make sure I do it tonight. We're going to create a Facebook page that we can broadcast from. We're going to start doing that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I hear about all those YouTubers and all that kind of stuff, and I say to myself, we are YouTubers, right?
And I want to be like my 22-year-old nephew when I grow up, who has something like 250,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. So I want to be like him.
Because baby boomers are the largest age group, right? They're overtaking every other age group. So it's possible. It's possible. There are a lot of women who are looking for a place, a place on Facebook, a place on social media that is for us and about us, dealing with the issues that we deal with.
I'm reading some of the comments here, and Karen Travis, my homegirl, going to share the show. So those of you who are watching, please share the show. Let the other sisters of color and sisters who aren't of color, because we want to hear from you too. I have to say this real quickly. I had a wonderful conversation with a woman that is probably going to be my new mentor. And she was telling me, how much she enjoyed the show. and how she also likes to get in her Facebook Messenger, I think it's called pushback. You guys might get some of that sometimes. Facebook Messenger, it's a thing that comes into your messenger. If you guys don't have it, I'll send it to you. But it teaches you about Black history, all kinds of little nuances and things that I didn't know. Well, the interesting thing about it, I said, you get that? And she said, yes. And the interesting thing about it is she's not a woman of color. She happens to be European. She said, I want to learn about women of color. I want to learn. I want to understand. She said, because I'm embarrassed to say, now check this out. She said about 6, 7 years ago for Halloween, she got dressed up as Oprah Winfrey. And she didn't feel that there was anything wrong with that. And then the thing came up with Meg Ryan. And she started, not Meg Ryan, I'm sorry, Megyn Kelly. Right. With her talking about blackface and all that ignorant stuff. Well, she, that was a key learning for her. Not that she didn't know about blackface, but being aware of how people might have interpreted that. So I want to encourage all women, because many of the topics we talk about are for everyone, but it's kind of nice to be able to share, the Black experience or the woman of color experience with other women of color and all women, because I think it helps to promote further understanding, because we're all in this together. We all live in this country, all these different cultures and all that stuff, and we need to learn about each other. So this is your opportunity to share this show with another woman that's not of color, so they can kind of get an idea of kind of not what it's like, but just the kinds of things we talk about and care about. And we need a topic for next week, ladies. What is it going to be?
What is it going to be?
Next.
Well, I had an idea.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I probably will get a lot of bad press if we do this show.
Oh, please.
That has never stopped us, Lynnis.
Well,
bring it.
Okay. It's the statement, I'm just big boned.
Okay.
Okay.
In other words, I'm not fat, I'm just big boned.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just big boned and other limiting beliefs.
And other limiting beliefs, right.
Okay, then I'm a size 26. This is a new outfit, looks good.
And no one's saying that it doesn't, but right, I got you.
Yeah. And my thing has always been, you already know where I'm gonna come from. It's not about what you look like, it's about what your health is like.
That's that's my passion right there. What's
that?
Like?
Coffin, God forbid, but there's a possibility of that. So I want to talk about that next week. But the things that we tell ourselves around giving ourselves excuses instead of making a change. Another one.
Can I make a? Next week is Thursday.
Oh, that's right. Thanksgiving. I don't know. Are we gonna get up from the dinner?
With their big bones? I'm not sure. How does Wednesday night look for you, ladies?
Woo! Okay, so Wednesdays night I do a lot of my cooking, but it's a half an hour, and I would love to.
Or Tuesday.
Either one. Wednesday or Tuesday is fine for me, as far as I know. I have not checked with my daughters. My daughters are in for the holidays, but maybe they'll join us. So yeah, I'll be around.
That'll be nice. All right, so we'll make the executive decision, or Lynnis will make the executive decision.
Tuesday or Wednesday is okay with me.
Okay, I would say for some reason Wednesday night, maybe we might end up doing the show while we're actually in the kitchen preparing something. I would love to see what you ladies are going to prepare. But
let me tell you, I don't watch a lot of TV. Everyone knows. Anyone who knows me knows I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do check out Netflix, and I am so completely hooked on British Bake Off. Have you ever seen that?
No, I have never seen it. I think I've heard about it.
I don't know what it is, but it's so addicting to me, where the contestants get in a tent in Great Britain and they start concocting all these baked goods. So I'm going to be making a lot of baked goods.
Oh, good for you.
Are you really, Keisha?
From scratch. Yes, I really am. I
a
lot of baked goods.
I need to ask you that question.
Oh, no, I know. But I can use a lot of like honeycomb and all these. Ooh, it's going to be amazing.
Yes, I'm asking her that question because she is my client. So we're I haven't touched base with her lately. That's so funny though, because I will be touching base with you to see what you're doing.
Let me tell you something. My phones went from a size 16 to a size 10, and I've stayed there. So
That's what I know. I haven't asked you lately. Okay, very good. Excellent, excellent. I'm loving this. Lanarisha. I hope I'm saying
Lanarsha.
Lanarsha.
Okay. That I'm just big boned is good because many women cycle through being sad because they are big, but eat because they are sad. Great topic.
Yeah, I love it.
And I was thinking that same thing. We have to talk about what's going in to us, what we're trying to pack down with our diet. There's so much.
Yeah, I could give you a spoiler of what I'm going to say about that, because when I was cycling in my eatings, because I wasn't having sex.
I've got to mention this because I feel I need to run a disclaimer. About 2 or 3 shows ago, we talked about orgasms, and I mentioned the M word, and I got called out by one of my Christian sisters who sent me something in Galatians, I guess, that was supposed to not condemn me, but to make me feel bad or guilty or educate me in terms of the fact that masturbation is a sin. Well, there's no word masturbation in the Bible. It's just not there. It's all up to interpretation and what you've been taught, and I will leave it at that. I'm not going to allow anybody to shame me because, first of all, we are all exchanging views. And this whole idea is to get you to start talking about some of the things that maybe you just talk about in your head and don't talk outside. There's nothing wrong with talking about it, whether you agree with it or not. I'm not asking you to agree with me, but I think we need to flesh these things out. And if that's where you land in quoting Galatians instead of masturbating, well, then fine. But don't try to shame me for doing my job, okay? She's just like,
don't do a job.
Now, how do we get from Galatians to masturbating?
You might have to ask her that question. She's very involved in knowing the word, and so this is what she sent to me.
I understand.
Yeah. So I think that is going to be very, very good for us. We can and it probably will lead to a part 1 and a part 2, because I can really feel that being a very passionate topic, and we should be inviting lots of people to join us on that, because a lot goes into being a woman of color.
Yes.
And I would tell you this, a lot of it we don't even talk about.
Yeah.
We are so socialized to, as my girlfriend says, to be strong and shut up and keep on pushing on.
Yes.
Right? I'm laughing because, tell me her name again. Is it
Lanarsha?
Lanarsha? I'm sorry, Lanarsha. I didn't mean to destroy your name. I'm trying to say it correctly. She said, what's better, masturbation or cheating? There's a topic.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. My friend would say that I'm going to burn in hell because I am even continuing to talk about it after I've been told to read the Galatians.
Tell you this, as a pharmacist, one of them is disease-free.
Let's hope.
I have to say, I love the Lord. I'm a Christian. Jesus is my best friend, but I'm still searching for the meaning in Galatians that tells me that I'm going to burn in hell for talking about it.
You know what? We're over 21. If we can't have a conversation amongst adult women and laugh and cut up once in a while, which is, when are we really, really real? Never at work, right? Never at work. We have that face on, and most of us go through our entire, lives that way with that.
And that's a subject too. That's a topic too. Let's talk about that as well. All the shifting.
Yeah, the corporate America syndrome. Mm-hmm. I just spent some time yesterday talking with a woman in Birmingham, and she's a life coach, and she was saying that she walked out of her job for the same kind of reasons. Or it's corporate job, great salary, just like you, Keisha, just like me, just like Dr. Dravon is going to be. Walked away from all of that. One day, walked away from all of that. Yeah. And one of it was just the fact she didn't realize until after she was gone how much she wasn't herself.
Yeah.
And I get that. I would never show up to work with my hair like this. Are you kidding me? I would put on a wig first, which I never did. But if it got that bad where I couldn't supposedly fix it the way it was supposed to look, I would have probably put on a wig, because the idea of just wearing my hair natural at work, of course, this was 10 years ago, but I would never have done it. Never. And people who see me from back then now, they're just like, oh, wow, your hair.
You're different. Yeah, there's so many things. I'm so proud of us as a culture of women, the things that we have endured, and how we endure it with style and grace. You know, we make it look so easy to be
strength.
With strength. But there does come a point in everybody's life where we desire balance.
Yes. Absolutely.
It would be nice just to be. And I think here we can do it. Just be.
Absolutely.
We can laugh and talk about all the things we want to talk about. You know, we're not going to pretend to be perfect to an imperfect world. That's a waste of our time. And we know that by now.
Absolutely.
We know that by now.
And we don't have all the answers.
No.
We certainly are going to bring up all the topics, though. And
wow. And we're going to have fun.
If the viewer has the answer, go ahead and type it in.
Really. Educate us, please. That's really what this is all about. I learned more from my sisters, Keisha and Dr. Dravon, than I ever just learned just by myself. We are better together, ladies. We're better together. And we need to be taking this journey together as sisters, really, because first of all, you know, two minds are better than one, or two hands are better than one, or whatever you want to say. But it's more than just that. It's the synergy that happens when we come together. There's a synergy that's there that no other time when sisters get together and start sharing from their experiences. We are way over time, ladies, but but you know, that's okay. If I can say this, and I will say this, the Holy Spirit just got going, and here we are.
And here we are.
There you go.
And we'll be here next week, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday. Stay tuned. We will make sure that we send out an invite.
We'll let you know, and we'll try to fix that page up so we can send out invites and everything else. We are a project that is developing. We are pursuing our passion in doing Living Well Woman, and it's been really fantastic. I'm so excited about the outcome so far.
Me too. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The bit.ly link is right on the screen. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye. God bless. Have a good.
Thank you for tuning in to Living Well Women. Join us next time when we will discuss other topics of holistic living. Nothing is off limits when it comes to sisters supporting sisters. Please subscribe to our YouTube page by clicking the link below so you can stay updated on all the details when it comes to being a holistic living well sister.
Great week.